I think it's fair to say that the left has a very odd and twisted view of race. And it's weird because they believe that they are the only ones that are capable of dealing with racism. They believe that they are the only ones that have the capacity to deal with inequality properly. There are a lot of leftist people that are rallying behind this idea. They are creating movements based upon this idea. And there are a lot of leftist people who are speaking on these particular topics. But whenever you talk about abortion and how it affects the African American community, oftentimes these leftist people will fall silent. And you realize that they don't really care about black lives nearly as much as they would have you believe. Because in reality, they want black people to be able to abort their children. If you go look at abortion by the numbers on the CDC website, you will realize that abortion disproportionately affects the African American community. More black babies are being aborted than any other demographic in the United States. Roughly 40% of all abortions are taking place within the African American community. Would it not make sense for the pro-choice movement to be overrun with racist people? If I was a racist white supremacist, I would be at every single pro-choice rally that I could possibly go to. And I would hold up a sign that says, I'm pro-choice, I'm pro-abortion, I'm pro-women's rights. Meanwhile, I would be secretly advocating the death of millions of unborn black babies. And nobody would know. Because at that point, I'm part of the in crowd. At that point, I'm politically correct. I don't have to go out here and start some hate page on social media. I don't have to go join some extremist group. All I have to do is show up to a pro-choice rally and hold up a sign. And I can propagate my own horrible ideology right underneath their nose. And you might say, well, that doesn't make any sense because abortion also takes the lives of white babies. And that is true. But that is not the philosophy of a white supremacist. The white supremacist philosophy is that white culture and society in general cannot thrive and flourish until all of the parasites, all of the minorities are wiped out. That was Hitler's philosophy. Hitler was willing to send white people under his command to go and kill other white people so he could retain the right to kill non-white people. He was willing to sacrifice the lives of thousands and thousands of white people so he could kill whoever he wanted. And I would also argue that somebody who is that blinded by hatred really doesn't have the best interest of white children in mind anyway. And so if I was a racist person, knowing that abortion disproportionately affects the African American community, knowing that it is the simplest way to get rid of black people, I would be at every single pro-choice movement. If I wanted to see the least amount of black people in this country, I would be pro-choice. This is what the left has done. This is the culture that they have created. They have created an opening. They have created a gateway where racist, white supremacist people can promote their own horrible ideology and not be caught. Because the left lacks any kind of decency when it comes to abortion, they are masking the horrible ideologies of racist people. Their own immorality is hiding the immorality of others. That's what the left has done. That is the culture that they are cultivating. That's the culture that they have created. And it's interesting because every time the left does not get their way politically, their initial response is always, oh, it's just a bunch of racist conservatives and Republicans. Oh, it's Trump. He's a white supremacist. I mean, if I had $1 for every time they called Trump a white supremacist, I would be as rich as he is. Meanwhile, it's the conservatives that are saying, hey, we want more black babies to be born. That's what conservatives are saying. That's not what the left is saying. Conservatives are saying, hey, we want to see the next generation of African Americans in this country. That's not what the left is saying. That's not what you're saying. That's not what they're saying. That's what we are saying. It would not surprise me one bit if the pro-choice movement was full of racist people. I'm not saying that every single person in this country that is pro-choice is a racist, but I'm saying the pro-choice movement has created an avenue for racist people to thrive.